What's up YouTube? I'm James. Welcome back to the channel for the finale on this Salvage 2013 Fiat 500 Abarth project. Now previously I had finished up the paintwork. It is time to reassemble this car, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. But before we get to that, if you enjoy cars just as much as I do, be sure you click that subscribe button so you can follow along with everything that goes on here. Now assembling the front end shouldn't be too hard, and we do have a few other little details to take care of, such as those side graphics. So let's get started and let's get this thing finished. So now it's the next day, and I've got the car out from underneath the carport so I can take a look at this thing, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Now this fender here, I actually blended to about halfway here and a little bit right here where the hood would meet. So I kind of blended over to about right here, and then I clear coated the whole fender. And as you can see, it looks really well. And here on the passenger side, you can see that the fender is nice and glossy, and it matches up to the factory paint very well, just like on the other side. So I don't see any kind of issues here. And here's the hood, and it turned out really well also. And as you can see, it's nice and glossy. Now I've already went ahead and done a little light polish on this, just because this is one of the bigger panels, and this is going to be something that you're really going to look at when you see the car, and all that nice glossiness is going to pop back into your eyes. So I wanted to make sure that this was a little extra slick than all the other pieces on the car. And the passenger side door turned out excellent as well, and I'm going to do a light polish on this just so we can bring some of that gloss out just a little bit more. And last but not least, the front bumper cover. Now this thing turned out really nice and glossy, as you can see, just like all of our other panels. So I'm going to continue on with doing some of the polishing so we can get the parts ready to put back onto the car. It's finally time for the rebuild process now that we have all of our panels polished and ready to go on the car. And we're going to start right here with the hood, and to do that we're going to need to take off the hood. So let's get to it. The initial fitment of the bumper cover looks really good. Now obviously there are a few things that I need to do before I can get this thing on for the last time, such as putting the lights, the lower grille, the middle grille, the emblem, and I also have some clips that go on the fenders here that hold the corner of the bumper cover up. But as you can see, everything lines up pretty well, and once we get that bumper cover squared away, we'll go ahead and get the final tuning on this bumper cover so it'll all mesh together nice and smooth. And here you have it. The bumper cover is on for the final time, and as you can see, everything lines up really well. All of our gaps look really good. I'm really happy with the way this thing turned out. As you can see, our gap there between the hood and the bumper cover, around the headlights, everything looks squared away. Now there are a few things I need to do, such as put in the inner fender well on this side, but I'm holding off on that because they sold me the wrong corner marker light, and I've got that on order, and it should be coming in soon. But the major thing left to do is to replace this door. So that's what I'm going to start on. I'm going to have to take this door off the car, get the other door shell on, and take all these components, everything you see here, all the trim, the door handles, and the latch, and the window regulator, and all that stuff's got to go into the new door shell. So that's what we're going to start working on now. Here's all our guts out of the old door, and the only thing left to do is to put them onto the new door. So the door is finally on and we have all the components installed, and as you can see, it looks really good. And I've already done some cleaning on the inside here, and you can see it looks really nice. Now I've already went ahead and did a paint correction to all of our painted panels and the rest of the car, just so I can get that final finish that looks really good. And I'm really happy with how glossy it is. So now all the paint work and the paint correction is complete. I need to concentrate on the last item for the body, and that is the side decals. And as you can see, we need to do pretty much the door and the fender, but we're going to end up having to do the whole thing because my decals are not OEM, and the OEM ones are discontinued, and if you can find them, they're about $250, and I paid $45 for mine. And they're just slightly different in size to where they won't match up to the factory ones. So we're going to have to do this side and the driver's side. Now to get this decal install started, obviously I'm going to need to remove the remaining part of the decal, but before I do that, I need to make some measurements so I can get it in the right spot. Then once I get that part removed, I can clean that section, the door and the fender, and get it ready and all nice and prepped up for the new decal. The decal is on. Now I have this thing out in the direct sun so we can get that thing to dry up so I can remove that guide paper. So we'll just have to give this a little bit of time and come back and check on it and see if it's ready to peel off. So the guide paper is off, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. Now it's time to do the other side. So I'm just going to skip ahead. I'm going to show you that I already have the driver's side graphic on now, and it looks really good. Now this is the final piece of the puzzle. And this car is now complete. It's detailed inside and out. It's nice and glossy and shiny, and it's ready to go on to a new owner. One more project complete, one more project in the bag, and that means we can move on to something else. So if you have enjoyed this project, be sure to check out all my other projects, check out all the crazy stuff that I do, And if you're not subscribed, be sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell so you'll get the notifications. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram.